What's up, guys? You got March Madness on deck, and I'm gonna give you my bracket challenge. I don't think I'm necessarily smarter than anybody else, but I don't think I'm worse either. Every year I see guys picking teams to the Final Four that don't make it out to Sweet 16, so I figured I'd do mine. What the hell? Today's bracket challenge is brought to you by Natty Daddy Lemonade. We've seen all the seltzers and the Ritas, and now we got a Natty Daddy Lemonade. This is for the cat that wears the work boots. You know, the Lime Rita was for the 40-year-old white woman. The seltzer was for the sorority and frat guys. And now we got a guy who puts on work boots and safety glasses every day. The Natty Daddy Lemonade. We'll check it out after we do the bracket, because if I drink this before I do the bracket, we won't make it to the Sweet 16. So anyway, we'll start in the West. Gonzaga's the number one seed. Been number one most of this year. Do everything well. They're big. They're fast. The guys can shoot from distance. They can play inside. They got good ball handlers. They're deep. So they're one of the favorites. So Gonzaga plays a winner of a play-in game. They're gonna win that. It doesn't matter who's in the play-in. Gonzaga wins round one. Game two is Oklahoma, Missouri. I like Missouri here. I like their inside game. They can shoot a little bit, but I like their inside game over Oklahoma. Close game, probably like 73-71. I'll take Mizzou. Creighton and UCSB, I'll take Creighton just because. Virginia over Ohio. I'll take Tony Bennett in the first round. They're not very good, I don't think, this year. Not as they were. You know, they won a championship just a couple years ago. They're not that good. They don't shoot the ball very well, but they'll beat Ohio. Southern Cal plays the winner of Wichita State and Drake. I'll take Southern Cal. They got some athletes on that team. They'll get to the first round. And then Kansas and Eastern Washington. You know, I'm taking Bill Self in that first round. They're not going too far, but they'll go far enough. So next is Oregon and VCU. I'll take the Ducks. Ducks are good for one win. And then Iowa versus Grand Canyon. I didn't know Grand Canyon was a school. I thought it was a place you rented a Jeep and went and looked and took pictures in front of when you was out there on the West Coast, maybe in Vegas. I didn't know there was a university. Luke Garza and Iowa will destroy them by like 30. So then you go to the second round of the West bracket. Gonzaga, Missouri. Got to take Gonzaga. They're just too good. They're too deep. 1 through 5, play inside, play outside. They'll beat Missouri handily, probably by 12 or so. Drop down, I'll take Creighton over Virginia. Like I said, Virginia doesn't score very well. They're only going to score like 50 points. And Creighton will be able to score at least that many. So Creighton moves on. Kansas and Southern Cal. I'm going to take Bill Self one more time. I got to take Kansas. They're battle tested. They're one of the few blue bloods that made it with Duke not being in there. I'll take the Kansas Jayhawks. And then Iowa versus Oregon, I'm going to go with Luke Garza, probably the player of the year. He'll get them to the next round. So then we go to the next round as we're narrowing it down in the West. Gonzaga will destroy Creighton. Gonzaga won't be tested until the Final Four, really. They're going to beat Creighton. And then I feel like Kansas will beat Iowa just off of depth alone. They'll figure a way to isolate Luke Garza. Kansas will move on to the Elite Eight to face Gonzaga, where Gonzaga will beat them by double digits also. So out of the West, I got Gonzaga coming out. That's the first Final Four team I have. Gonzaga wins the West. We'll drop down here to the East, where Michigan's the number one seed. Michigan's playing some good basketball. Juwan Howard's got them boys right. They play a winner of a play-in game. They'll destroy MSM or Texas South, whatever. Michigan by a long shot, round one. LSU and St. Bonaventure is that second game in that bracket. I don't like Will Wade at LSU. I know he's a cheater. He's a confirmed cheater, but he's got a decent basketball team. LSU will beat the Bonnies and move into the second round. Colorado and Georgetown. Colorado is one of them teams that does a lot of things well. They're like the top 40 in offense and defense. Georgetown's running hot. If you're going to run hot, this is the time of year to run hot. And I'm going to take Georgetown to beat Colorado in that first round. They'll play the winner of Florida State, UNC Greensboro. UNC Greensboro is a great story, but this is big boy basketball. Florida State's one of the most athletic teams in the NCAA tournament. I'll take Florida State to beat UNC Greensboro. Drop down, we got BYU plays the winner of the play-in game of Michigan State, UCLA. I'll take the winner of the play-in game to beat BYU. I just don't trust the BYU team. I think Tom Izzo, if Michigan State wins, I have them physical enough to win that close game, like 63-62 on Michigan State. So I got Michigan State winning the play-in game and beating BYU. Now, if UCLA wins, that still counts, but I got BYU losing regardless. And they'll play the winner of Texas and Abilene Christian. They got to take Texas. That Big 12 basketball has been pretty solid this year. Texas, pretty good basketball team. Got some dogs down low. I'll take Texas. Then rounding it out, you got UConn and Maryland. It's hard to say what you're going to get out of UConn. Maryland's played some good basketball. I'll take the Terps. I always love seeing the Terps in March, back when Gary Williams was the coach and all that. There's some good dudes, good teams to watch. The Stevie Francis franchise. I love watching Maryland back then. I'll take the Terrapins just because. And then Alabama, Iona. I'm going to take Alabama. One of the better teams in the second half of the season. Going back up, I got Michigan blowing out LSU. They'll beat LSU. They're more physical. And then I got Florida State beating Georgetown. It ends, the Cinderella ends for Georgetown right here. Florida State's a better team, more physical. I'll take those guys. Dropping down, I got Texas beating the winner of the play-in game with BYU. Texas will win that second round game regardless of any of those three teams make it. And then Alabama will beat Maryland. Back to the top, I got Michigan and Florida State. That's going to be a slugfest. That's going to be a old school beating and banging inside game right there. I got Michigan winning that. But I think Florida State can give them a run if they can make some three-pointers. And then Texas and Alabama, I'll take the Crimson Tide to edge the Longhorns and make it to the Elite Eight there. And then Michigan will beat Alabama. And this ain't football. This is basketball. So I'll take Michigan, Juwan Howard, and them boys to go to the Final Four. So the winner in the East bracket will be Michigan Wolverines. Go back up here. The South. All right. Baylor, number 1 seed, been a little sketchy on the second half of this season at times. They play Hartford. That should be an easy win. I'll take Baylor. And then North Carolina squeaks in at an 8 seed. Not their best year, not their best performance. You know, won a championship 4 years ago, but they're not there right now. They play Wisconsin. I'll take the Badgers. I think the Badgers can out-physical North Carolina and squeak out a win and move on to face Baylor. Villanova and Winthrop. This might be the Cinderella story right here. Villanova's banged up. Backcourt's hurt. Winthrop's hot. I got Winthrop upsetting a 12 seed, upsetting number 5 Villanova, and moving on to the next round, which they'll play the winner of Purdue and North Texas, take the Boilermakers. Purdue moves on. Big Ten basketball has been really good this year. Stepping down another notch, Texas Tech and Utah State. I'll take the Red Raiders. Big 12, another Big 12 team in here, and they're playing really well. I'll take Texas Tech. And they'll be matched up against the winner of Arkansas and Colgate. Definitely take the Razorbacks. They're playing some good basketball. Last but not least, I got Florida beating Virginia Tech. Florida just plays well at times, well enough at times. I think they can beat Virginia Tech. And they'll play the winner of Ohio State, Oral Roberts, which Ohio State is playing really well as well. So Ohio State wins that one. Go back up to the next round, second round of the South bracket. Baylor's going to beat Wisconsin. Purdue is going to beat Winthrop. Texas Tech is going to handle Arkansas. And Ohio State will beat Florida. Those are pretty cut and dry. Those are pretty easy. There's a big gap in those seed numbers. So all the favorites should win out right there. Go back up to the 8. I got Baylor beating Purdue. And then I got Texas Tech beating Ohio State. No surprise there. I think Texas Tech is battle tested. They played in that Baylor, Texas, Kansas conference. I think they're good, better than we think. They'll have a matchup to go ahead with Baylor, 1 versus 6 seed. And I got Texas Tech beating Baylor to go to the Final Four. I know you probably think I'm crazy, but I got Texas Tech in the Final Four coming out that South bracket. Now we'll do the Midwest bracket. Illinois, #1 seed in that bracket, ILL. They play Drexel first. I think they'll beat Drexel easily. Next is Loyola of Chicago versus Georgia Tech. I'm going to take Losha and take them. Tennessee takes Oregon State. Got the Volunteers. Rick Barnes is a great coach. Coached in many good places, of Texas and Tennessee. I think he'll have his boys ready. Michael Boynton at Oklahoma State, who I hope is the next head coach at the University of South Carolina. They take on Liberty, and they will handle Liberty in that first round. San Diego State and Syracuse. I'll take San Diego State Aztecs. Jim Boeheim gets in the dance, but he ain't going to last long. So San Diego State. West Virginia. Huggy Bear takes on Morehead State. I'll take West Virginia there. No surprise. Clemson takes Rutgers. I like this Rutgers team, man. They play good at times. Clemson, you just never know. So I'm going to take Rutgers. Oh, well. I'm going to take Rutgers. And then you got Houston, who's a surprise team, #2 seed. They're playing Cleveland State. I'm going to take Houston to beat Cleveland State. Moving right along, Illinois will beat Losha in the second round. No surprise there. A little surprise, I got Tennessee beating Oklahoma State. Like I said, I think Rick Barnes is going to have his boys ready. Another surprise, this whole bracket for me is going to be a surprise. The Midwest bracket is going to be turned upside down. Folks ain't going to like this one too much. I got San Diego State knocking off West Virginia. That's just what I got. And then I got Rutgers beating Houston and going to the Sweet 16. A lot of people ain't going to like that either, but it's my bracket, so. We narrow them on down. You got Illinois going to play Tennessee. I take Tennessee. And then in the lower bottom part, I got San Diego State beating Rutgers. So in your Elite 8 game, I'm going to have Tennessee versus San Diego State, a 5 versus a 6. I got Rick Barnes and Tennessee winning that and moving on to the Final Four, where the Final Four will be Gonzaga versus Michigan, 2 1s, and Texas Tech and Tennessee, a 6 and a 5. For me, Michigan, I'll manhandle Gonzaga, win that one by 6 or 8 points. I got Michigan. And then I got Tennessee will outshoot Texas Tech. Tennessee will make it to the finals. So we'll have Michigan and Tennessee. We'll have the Charles Woodsons versus the Peyton Mannings. And just like in that Heisman in 1996, Michigan's going to come out ahead. The Charles Woodsons, the Juwan Howards, are going to win the national championship 77-74 over the Tennessee Volunteers. That's my picks. Final Four again, Gonzaga, Michigan, Texas Tech, Tennessee. Michigan cuts down the nets, beats Tennessee for the championship. Now let's try this Natty Daddy. Like I said before, this is the blue collar 40-hour week steel toe boot kind of lemonade right here. This ain't the Bud Light lemonade. This ain't a Truly lemonade. This the real deal. 8% alcohol, big can, 16-ounce can. I think right now they sell them in 4 packs, but they go into single soon. They'll probably be in the trough at most Indian gas stations you go to. Sell them like $1.50 as a single. Let's try it. Smells like lemonade from here. It tastes like most of the malty type lemonades. I mean, it's got that foam, it's got that carbonation, you got that little bit of lemon, a little bit of alcohol. It's not bad. Tell you, it would be good on the sunny day, sitting on the deck. You got a TV on the porch, watching March Madness, wouldn't be bad. Out catching some fish on the lake, wouldn't be bad. Docked up at the river, wouldn't be bad up on the sandbar. I'll be honest, ain't a bad drink. Ain't hard to drink. Doesn't take your breath away. It's kind of easy. Tastes like lemonade with a hint of alcohol in it. So for me, Natty Daddy, Lemonade, 8% alcohol, 16-ounce can. I'll give it an 8.4. I drink it. I ain't gonna drink it when it's pouring down rain outside like today, but you give me a sunny and 75, more likely an 85 in South Carolina, I'll drink 2 or 3 of these suckers. Probably take a nap afterwards, but I'll drink them. So anyway, Natty Daddy, not bad. You see it in the trough at the gas station, give it a try. It's pretty good. It's really not bad. I know most of you look down your nose at like natty stuff, even though that's how you grew up. You've moved on. But for like $1.50 or something like that, it's a pretty good price. I drink one. If you're going down the river, the lake, the golf course, sitting on the deck watching basketball, give the Natty Daddy a try. Michigan Wolverines cut down the nets, beat the Tennessee Volunteers. That's my take. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Oh, let me know who you think.